Alrighty, so not long, just got back from World Champs, and of course the exciting thing to come back to is Dynasty. So figure I'll open a box. People seem to love box openings, and I think the last one on here might have been like Crucible First Edition on release. So we'll do a Dynasty one. Spoiler season for this was a bit mental for me. I was trying to get everything in order before I went over 2 worlds all the way from New Zealand here. It's like traveling from down here over to here. But yeah, so I just sort of see flashes of spoilers, but overall I was still pretty darn excited. And I think from the looks of things, first glance at Arachne, I said to James over the weekend, you know, it looks like he's kind of filling a bit of a gap and is a whole new archetype of a kind of potentially, you know, a proactive fatigue deck. So should be pretty fun to see what that does. And let's just have a look at some beautiful cards here. Crouching Tigers. Man, some of this Guardian stuff just got super buff. And we got, oh, they look so good. Oh, Madcap Muscle. Blessing. Deathly Duet. Oh my goodness, I hadn't even seen this card. This is crazy. When it attacks, if an attack action was pitched to play, it gains +2. If a non-attack was pitched to play. So pitch and non-attack and attack. This is this new Runeblade archetype. It's looking at pitched non-attack and attack actions. If you pitch both types, this is 6 power and create 2 rune chants. It's pretty good. Awesome. But yeah, so World Champs, you know, that was an experience and a half. It's one of the first times this year I've had like a positive experience in the draft. Was feeling pretty good. And then, yeah, got to the games and my opponents just lined me up pretty hard and I died, and I was sad. BIOS update. Oh, nice. That's definitely like a Data Doll style Majestic. It's a Nimbleism, and the next time an item with 2 cost is banished to pay for boost this turn, you get to put it in the arena. Yeah, so I think we're seeing like obviously a whole new class, but whoa, axe attack gets +6. I missed that one, that's mean. Blessing of Steel, destroy it. Oh yeah, so an aura. Interesting. I think this card's really cool in a defensive deck. So it's like Prismatic Shield, but on a 1-cost action aura. And it has ward, so if you take damage before your next turn, you don't get the 3 shields, but could be the go in a tanky Iris deck. A lot of talk over the weekend about, I like this card, a lot of people didn't, but if you have a Spectral Shield in play, it gets go again, 0 for 4, block 3. Ether Slash, it's kind of cool. Oh, foil Arachne Young. That's cute. Spectral Rider, this card's pretty cool. Oh, Brute Legs. Oh yeah, that's quite cool. This is like exactly like, well, oh no, sorry. It's exactly like Hooves, the Shadow Hooves, but discard a card with 6 or more, destroy and gain an action. I think the Hooves were if you banish a 6. Reincarnate. Oh, and this is discard at random, put it on the bottom. Nice. But yeah, so back to Worlds. The draft wasn't great. I had no idea what to play for CC. I'm a bit of a stubborn guy, I guess. I don't often play. I was just thinking earlier, I never played Chain ever, even when it was winning everything and nothing was banned. I never played Starvo. Only took him 3 months to get banned, so I didn't really have a chance to change my mind. You know, and leading up to this, I wasn't interested in the likes of Fi or, you know, some of those decks that were Oldham, I guess, that were winning more often. So yeah, I'd been practicing with Dromai and I just wasn't confident that she was in a good spot. Felt like a lot more people had learned how to play against her effectively or had a good plan against her. And I just ended up playing Bravo, and it was pretty fun. I beat the Fires I played on day one, and then I lost to Oldham kind of close. Lost to Kano turn 2 because he nutted me. Ether Wildfire into double Blazing, obviously, on turn 2, so you know, it happens. Yeah, so like day one Worlds, I did like 2 wins, 6 losses. I was just out. Luckily, I'd kind of thought, you know, gone over with small expectations. That's cool. And yeah, so I just like got into it. I really like this card. So this is again a Runeblade, new sort of archetype of pitching, attack and non-attack actions. If you do both, they choose an ally and destroy it, and they also choose and destroy an aura, so interesting. Played the Calling the next day, first time I've ever played Fire in a tournament. I've played probably 3 to 5 games with him before that, and I just missed day 2. I went 5-3. First couple rounds, like first round was fun, and I just lost to Reiner by, you know, basically playing for fun. Really like this card as well, Never Yield. It's kind of a cool Guardian, 3 pitch, 3 cost, 3 block, and does a load of stuff. You can gain 2 life, you can remove a counter and draw a card if you're lower on all those things than your opponent. Yeah, the first round I won after that was Icelander, and it was like the classic, just chip damage, block 1 a turn, and then he had an off turn where he arsenaled a wizard weapon. I haven't even seen this yet. Orb 3, look at top card of your deck, you may put it on the bottom, create a ponder token. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's really cool. Yeah, and then turn 7 or something, this Icelander just puts the Insidious Chill in his arsenal, and I have Tunic counter on 3 and E-Pot and an arsenal, and I just do like a huge turn, and then the game's basically over. And it honestly just felt bad. I said to him, I was like, that didn't even feel good, even though I got the win, so I'm really sorry. But then through the day, like I managed to beat an Oldham after that, which felt kind of a bit more rewarding. I got so close to beating a Bravo deck. I lost a Fire Mirror and then proceeded to win a Fire Mirror at the end of the day. Ooh, cool. Tearing Shuko, next Crouching Tiger gains +2 and Battle Worn. That's hot. Yeah, and so 5-3, it was overall good fun. You know, learned to enjoy playing Fire a bit by the end of the day, which was kind of nice, I guess, for the hero and for me to have that change of perspective. But yeah, so then the third day, oh, look at this. A rare, I love they've done this, you know, a 2-block temper shield, but it doesn't make a frostbite. And it can be played in any Guardian, to be fair, which is kind of good. But yeah, it's cool they've done this. It also helps for like budget, you know, people on a budget or getting into the game. It's still like a really good equipment. It just ups the fridge value on a Guardian player. And it's probably going to cost like a few dollars. So good times, good choice good choice by LSS. Yeah, and the Sunday I wasn't feeling too hot. I think I got like food poisoning, but I just tried to play the day, battle hardened, and I just threw together the Icelander deck with the attacks and everything. Again, hadn't really played it too much, and yeah, I won a few games, and I just got to the point where I was literally fatigued as a person. So I went home and had a nap, and then yeah, can finish the weekend having some dinner out, nice pizza, and getting an early night. But this card is very cool. I don't know, I just like the flavor of this. Beginning of your action phase, destroy this and draw a card. Ward 1, so it's a blue illusionist aura. It doesn't have go again, but I think we'll see play for this in the future. Yeah, and then Monday we hung out in San Jose. I thought it would be easier than going up to San Fran with bags and everything. I had some distant family, relatives sort of, that I was meeting for the first time, so that was really cool. And they actually showed us around the city and chucked the bags in the car, so it was a nice way to end the trip. Oh, I love this. Oh, rare majestic, leave no witnesses. And this hits here, a banish top card of their deck and a card in Arsenal. Oh my goodness. Contracted to banish red cards. That is nice. The assassin border looks so hot as well with the red at the bottom. And this is cool as well. Yeah, so a nice last day. Overall though, great weekend. Honestly, like, so many shout outs. There was a lot of returning faces, people I was seeing again. You know, I was at Pro Tour 1 and Singapore GP this year, so, you know, I've got to meet quite a few people, which has been really, really neat. And this weekend was no exception. You know, catching up, saying brief hellos to, you know, all the famous people. You know, everyone's just such a cool dude, like Matt DeMarco, you know, brief chat, and said hi a few times to Mr. Tannen Grace, who's always very gracious, funnily enough, with that surname. But, you know, met the professor from Tellurian Academy, which was super cool. Just say hi and got a selfie for my own memories. You know, catch up with all the LSS guys. I got to ride into the venue on the first day from the airport. I bumped into James White himself, traveling over with his daughter, which was so cool. See that he took her over for the trip. So yeah, I got to sit on the train and chat with them on the way in, which was a nice start to the weekend. Caught up with all the Australian contingent, Tall Timmy, Flukenbox, John Wardan, Phil McKay, Hayden, who's Hayden Dale, Arsenal Pass. He's obviously a Kiwi, let it be known, but living over in Aussie as well. Yeah, and the rest of their gangs, and yeah, just some of my mates I met from like California, Tyler Horsepool and Brandon, and their mate Chris and Adam. Chris ended up second place in Worlds, losing to Michael in the final, so that was like real exciting. Yeah, and just, I don't know, like, it's definitely an amazing community and a really, really good place that the game's in at the moment. You know, there's so many positive people. There was one guy, and if you're watching this video, you know, sorry to tell the story, but day one of the calling, round one, me and my opponent had a great time, and then this guy next to us loses by what he thought was a fraction. The Viserai player kills him while he's on fire, you know, the turn before he was planning to win, and he just got so angry. He was verbally like swearing and just like, oh man, my whole tournament's ruined, F and this, F and that. And I was real close to saying something, but his opponent was pretty, you know, patient and understanding. Just kind of put up with it. This is so cool. So I just left it, and I thought, you know, maybe just had a bad morning or like, you know, whatever, right? Anyway, next day in the, this is cool too. Next day in the battle hardened round like 3 or 4, I'm sitting next to the same guy, and sure enough, he loses the game, and he's the same reaction, just like, F this, F that, oh man, like I'm pretty much out of the event, we did the math, oh man, I should just drop now, blah, blah, blah. And I thought this time I'm going to say something. I was like, hey man, just pipe down, you know, like, how does your opponent feel right now? You can't just like swear and like be so unpleasant, you know, like sure, we all have bad beat stories, we all lose games, like you just don't have to behave like this. And he was just kind of brushed me off and like carried on. And then afterwards he was still sitting there, so I thought, oh, my opponent left, and I just went over, like turned to him and I said, look, I don't mean to like get up in your grill, or, you know, I don't like to lecture people, but just you know, we want this event, you want any event, you know, but particularly Worlds weekend, you want everyone to have a good experience, and like, just felt like you were kind of behaving a bit unpleasantly, and like, you know, I traveled all the way from New Zealand and I went 2-6 in Worlds on Friday, like you don't hear me swearing at people, you know, and you know, he kind of took it on board, but you know, he was also like, oh man, just, you know, can I suggest if you're gonna like tell people this or whatever, like try and talk to them after they've stopped tilting and calmed down. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but you know, you're missing the point. That just seems a bit out of line to behave that intensely in the first instance. But anyway, it was all good, and he was a nice enough guy. He's, wish him well in the future, and hopefully he can stay out of the salt mines a bit more regularly. But yeah, so that was a box of Dynasty, and it was pretty cool, I have to say. This card is nuts. Got a Cryptid Crossing as well. So if you pitch a non-attack and an attack, first time this deals damage to a hero, they discard and you draw. So it's sort of like a must block. It's pretty nice. This card's also pretty cool. When this is discarded at random, gain a resource. 2 cost 6 attack, 3 block brute. Very good card. People are going to play this to trigger the rock. I don't know, but maybe. Yeah, so that's my waffle. Worlds was really good. For me, I don't think I'm going to be making the trip. I mean, just to the, you know, I've been to first Pro Tour, I've been to first Worlds as kind of to celebrate the game, support James and the company and all the guys there that I know, you know, put my best foot forward and be part of the experience and the memory. But for the cost and the time and everything, I think, you know, I'm going to sort of hold back a little bit and hope and wait for Asia Pacific Pro Tour next. So if, you know, if we're back in America or Europe for the next 1 or 2 or 3, then I'll probably just sit tight and back here in New Zealand. But if it's a bit closer, a bit easier, yeah, might venture back out again. And hopefully I won't be a year into a hero that's just gets a ban a few months before. But I guess it happens to all of us. And I'm going to go and play with a couple of these, because I think they are one of the best weapons in the game. And I really want to see how they play, because they seem like they're really, really good. So, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the Worlds sort of vlog video. I did the best I could. Obviously it's not always handy or ideal to whip out a camera and just do filming, but try to get some snippets for y'all. And we should be back to some more regular content as well from now. So yeah, make sure you hit the like, subscribe if you haven't already. Let your friends know. And for all of you that I met just as players, you know, great to meet you. I had a really good time in terms of all my opponents and everyone that I met for the first time and the games I had. So keep living the spirit of flesh and blood and enjoying yourselves, and we'll catch you at the next APAC Pro Tour / in our next video.